I'm about to break down a no-nonsense guide to how you can earn your first $1,000 using social media. I followed these exact steps to make my first $1,000, and I've worked with several other creators who followed these exact steps to make their first $1,000. All of that to say that these steps work. Stick with me, grab a notepad and pen. Also, guys, this video is sponsored by HubSpot. More on them later. Okay, so what is this method? Well, this method centers around creating a digital product, more specifically an ebook. Now, stick with me here because I'm going to break down how to come up with the idea, how to create your ebook, and I'm going to give you a free resource in order to help you to do that, and how to market your ebook, all without a huge audience. Now, do not get me wrong, if you already have a big audience, it's obviously going to help, but I launched my ebook when I had hundreds of people in my audience, and it grew over time. So there are different ways for you to do it, and I'm going to talk about those exact ways a little bit later. But first, let's talk about step number one, ideation. How are we going to come up with the idea of your ebook? Now, if anyone doesn't know what I mean by an ebook, I actually have a free one that you can download that I'll put in the description so you can get a good idea of what an ebook looks like. It's literally a book that is electronic, right? It's a book that's available online. It's usually presented in a PDF format, and it allows people to read through it, get some value from it, and then, move on with their lives. That's essentially what an ebook is. Now, ebooks are a great way for you to earn your first $1,000 because firstly, although they do take a little bit of upfront work, they're very one and done. Once you've created your ebook and you've set up your marketing system, you actually don't need to do much else. As far as passive income goes, they're pretty passive. I don't believe that anything's truly passive, but they are pretty passive, which means you can create your ebook, you can set up your marketing, make sure it's selling, and then you can sit back and start to earn income from the sales that you're making. So it truly is one of the best ways to get started. Now, in order for you to get to that stage though, you need to have a good idea for your ebook. And there are a few things you want to consider when it comes to ideation. The first thing to consider is you. Who are you? What are you interested in? What do you currently create content about? Now, I'm not going to go down this whole rabbit hole of like, oh, you need a niche. That's not what I'm talking about here. But you do need to have a specific type of content that you share for a very targeted audience, right? So let me take me for an example. I'm Jade, in case you've not met. I don't think I introduce myself in my videos anymore. How embarrassing. I'm Jade, by the way. And I create content all about marketing and entrepreneurship. So within that, we talk about social media marketing and being a content creator, right? So my audience are business owners and content creators. I'm very specific with who they are. That is who my audience are, which means when I sat down to come up with my idea for my first ebook, I knew that it needed to be something for those group of people. I didn't sit down and think, okay, I'm going to create a fashion guide because that has nothing to do with the content that I already create and the audience that I have / I'm trying to gain. So therefore, those two things just did not mix, right? They just didn't work. They didn't slot. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. You know what I mean? It didn't work. So instead what I did is I came up with an ebook idea that I knew my audience would like. And that was my influencer hustle kit. I'm actually quite embarrassed by that name now. But what it basically was, it was like a 45-page ebook, which broke down all the key things that brand new influencers needed to know in order to get started with their journey. It included pitch templates and like invoice templates. It was actually a very good ebook. I'm going to repackage it soon and reset it because it was great. And that is what my ebook idea was. So think about who you are and what content you create and the audience that you speak to when you're trying to come up with an idea for your ebook. Now, the second thing that you want to think about is a pain point. Now, the best ebooks solve a pain point for their audience. And because you now know who your audience are, because you followed the first step, you should have a good idea of the pain points that your audience face. For example, someone who creates content about fashion might know that their audience are really into slow fashion, sustainable fashion, but they struggle to find really great boutiques or stores that are actually quite sustainable, right? That's a pain point that they can address in their ebook. Or for example, let's say that your niche is about cleaning and you know that your audience really struggle with cleaning like the grout in their like bathroom tiles. This is coming from my own personal experience. They really struggle with cleaning that. So you know that that is a pain point that you can leverage and you can talk about in your ebook. Think about one or few different pain points that you know that you can confidently solve because that is what you want to center your ebook on. The pain point for my ebook was that influencers didn't know how to get started in the industry, right? So that was the main pain point that my whole ebook was centered on. It gave people the info and the resources that they needed to actually get started on their journey. Now, there is a third part that's only relevant if you already have an audience. If you already have an existing audience of, let's say, more than 1,000 people, then there are people there who might be willing to give you some insight insights that will help you figure out what your ebook should be about. So hop on your stories, throw a question box up. Don't ask the question, guys, what should my ebook be about? Say something a little bit more tactical. Say something along the lines of, guys, what are your pain points at the moment? What do you struggle with in relation to fashion? What do you struggle with in relation to cleaning? And that will give you some insight that will help you come up with the idea and the pain point for your ebook. Okay, so let's move on to the creation section, right? This is the part where you actually have to create the ebook. And I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the longest part. The reason why is because creating an ebook isn't always the quickest thing in the world. You wanna make sure that whatever pain point you decided to focus on, you're truly solving it through your ebook. And one of the biggest reasons why this is so important is because one of the ways that you'll be able to sell your ebook is through word of mouth and testimonials. So creating an ebook that is only average and doesn't really help anyone isn't gonna help you in the long run because it's gonna massively stunt your sales. Whereas if you put the time and effort in to create an ebook that people love and get value from, they will tell other people and they will leave you amazing testimonials that you can use in your marketing. So how do you create this ebook? I'm gonna obviously tell you the most efficient way to do it because that is the vibe of this whole video. What you wanna do is start with a plan. So open up a Word document or a Google Doc or whatever it is that you use to do most of your writing. Open it up and break down the different sections, the different topics that you need to cover in your ebook in order for you to solve the pain point of your audience. You then wanna throw in a few staples such as a title page, a contents page, an about me page, and then at the very end, you wanna have a contact me page where people can find like links to your social media channels and stuff like that if they wanna get in touch, okay? So those are the main things that you need. The bulk of it, the main part is gonna be decided by you, and the different sections need to be broken down based on what you think you need to cover in order for your audience to solve the pain point that you're focusing on. So once you have the plan, it'll become a lot easier for you to fill in each part. For people who are super organized, like myself, you might wanna give yourself a target every single week to get certain sections done. That really helped me manage my time and also expectations. I actually completed my whole ebook in about 2 weeks and it was over the Christmas holidays. How depressing. But I worked on it for like 8 hours a day for 2 weeks. But I gave myself targets. I was like, okay, on this day, I am gonna get this chapter done. And on this day, I'm gonna get this chapter done. And it really helped me have a realistic idea of progress and also helped combat any feeling of overwhelm. And I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but when you've got a big project ahead of you and you've not broken down how you're gonna actually get to the end goal, it can feel very overwhelming because all you see is just work to do and you have no idea how you're gonna get that done. So try and break it down and give yourself some mini goals. You then wanna write up your ebook first. You don't wanna design it or anything. You wanna write it all up as if you're writing an essay. You wanna read through it, maybe get someone else to read through it before you move on to the next stage, which is to format and create your ebook. Now, this is where that free resource comes in. And also, this is where I talk to you about HubSpot. Now, I'm very fortunate to be part of HubSpot's YouTube network, which basically means that myself and a bunch of other incredible creators are producing content as part of a series for HubSpot. Now, my series is all about how you can turn your influence to income. Hence today's video, which is about how you can make your first $1,000 online. Now, there is a resource created by HubSpot that is completely free, that is going to be a game changer for every single person watching this video. And this resource is, drumroll, free ebook and icon templates provided by HubSpot. That's right. So when I just spoke to you about you writing up all of the contents for your ebook and having it so that it is all on a Word document and then transferring it over to a design template so that you're able to pull everything together in a way that looks really visually appealing. Well, obviously I wasn't going to leave you hanging. I'm going to give you the exact templates you need in order for you to do that. Now, these templates are available for you to edit in PowerPoint, Google Slides, and Adobe InDesign. And you could basically use these templates to create your own ebook, whether it's a free ebook that you're producing in order to gain leads for your business, or if it's a paid ebook like we're talking about today, what you're going to use in order to make your first $1,000. Now, there are quite a few different things included in this download. So let me break down what you're going to get. You will get 30 customizable image icons, 12 Microsoft PowerPoint ebook templates, 12 Google Slides templates, and 12 Adobe InDesign templates. You'll also get the instructions for actually creating your ebook. So if you're worried about downloading the templates and not understanding how to use them, don't worry, we've got you covered. You'll also get text, image, cover, and author page templates. So you know some of those bonus sections that I mentioned a little while ago? You'll also get templates for that as well. My absolute favorite batch of templates are the 12 Microsoft PowerPoint templates because I'm a PowerPoint girly and I find them so easy to use and so intuitive. If you would like to get access to these templates, which I'm pretty sure you would, please check out the link in my description. As I mentioned, they're completely free and they're going to help anyone who's on their mission to earn their first $1,000 using social media. Okay, the last part part, and in my opinion, the best part, which is the marketing. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm all about streamlining this process. This is your first $1,000. This isn't like everyone's first $10 million. We're not trying to make things more complicated than they need to be. So what's the best way for you to start selling your ebook and market it, especially if you've got a smaller audience? Well, the first thing you want to figure out is your messaging. Your messaging is basically 1 to 2 lines of how you refer to your ebook. Now, what you want to focus on here is having transformational messaging, which basically means that you're talking about the transformation that the ebook provides rather than just describing it. So describing it would be like, hey, I got a 13-page ebook and it's really pretty and it talks about this subject. But a transformational message would be, if you want to elevate your wardrobe with timeless, sustainable pieces, then this ebook will help you do that, right? You're focusing on the transformation. What's the end result that people are going to get? So write that down, figure it out, burn it into your brain. The next step is finding a way to actually sell the ebook. Now, because we're talking about ease, I want you to focus on Etsy. It's one of the easiest platforms that you can use to sell your ebook. You don't need to create like a fancy website or landing page or any of that stuff. You can just upload it into Etsy, create your own account, and you can get going with selling it. Now, let's talk about how you're going to drive sales, but I want to focus on one specific strategy that I want you to use because this will work well for anyone, even if you have an existing audience or you don't have an existing audience. And that is my high reach strategy, which focuses on one specific type of content on one specific social media channel. And that social media channel is YouTube, and that piece of content is YouTube Shorts. Right. So there are a few reasons why I want you to focus on creating YouTube Shorts to promote this ebook. The reason why is because YouTube Shorts are a high reach format, which means that you're able to reach a lot of people even when you don't have an audience. So you can start uploading YouTube Shorts onto a brand new YouTube channel and it could reach 500 to a few thousand people, even though you don't have an audience yet. And that is what's important when it comes to making your first $1,000 when you don't have an audience, is how you're going to reach people if you don't already have that audience. This is how. In addition to that, you can add links to your YouTube Shorts. So when you upload YouTube Shorts using the desktop app, not on your mobile, you can add a description, right? And in your description, you can add a link to your Etsy page so that people can buy your ebook. You can also leave a comment under your shorts and pin it to the top and have a link to your Etsy page there too. The reason why I need to flag this is because there are other social media platforms which can offer you a good amount of reach when you don't have an audience, like TikTok, for example, but it does not allow you to link to your ebook anywhere. On TikTok, if you don't have a business page, and I don't recommend that people ever get a business page because it's not great on TikTok, then you can't have a link in your bio until you have 1,000 followers, and you can't link to anything in the actual comment section. On Instagram, the business profiles are pretty good, so you can create one of those, have a link in your bio, but it's actually quite difficult for you to reach a lot of people on Instagram, especially when you don't have a big audience. So you can see why I'm recommending that you create YouTube Shorts to promote your ebook, even if it's a brand new YouTube channel that you're doing it on. When you are creating your videos for your YouTube Shorts, I really want you to focus on the pain point that your ebook is solving. I don't want you just to sit there and be like, hey guys, I've got an ebook, you should buy it. That's not going to work. Talk about the pain point that you're solving. Maybe share a little bit of advice and some value from your ebook to give people a snippet into the kind of value they can get if they actually go ahead and buy it. Okay, so that is my top strategy for getting to your first $1,000 of sales using your ebook and using social media, even if you do not have an audience. And that's it. You're on your way to your first $1,000. It really doesn't have to be as complicated as a lot of us seem to make it, right? If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It's all about my top marketing tips. So if you're thinking, that's a great strategy, Jade, but I want more, this video is going to be for you. Don't forget to check out HubSpot's free ebook templates via the link in my description. Thank you so much for watching as always. I cannot wait to see you in my next video.